Hi everyone, thank you so much for being here. My name is Jane, this is my channel, International Tarot. I wanted to do a quick message regarding private readings if you're interested, okay? I just put up a temporary booking page. I'm still building out my site, but it's only going to be available till June 14th, and then I'm going to be turning it off again because I have a visitor coming here to visit me in Bali, and I won't be able to be doing privates. And then again in July for only a couple weeks. Likely I'm going to be moving to Europe after the middle of July or into early August. So it's going to be kind of sporadic, and I apologize for that, but I just got to work around my schedule a little bit. So thank you so much again, and enjoy your reading. Hello Virgo, how are you? Welcome to your June 2017 love reading. Thank you so much for being here with me. I've already prepared the deck, so let's go ahead and dive right in and get started. Okay, well, I got one popping out already. Let's begin. Actually, this top one was all slippery. Let's go with that one. Okay, Two of Swords. That's you and your Three of Cups. Okay. So this is like the Page of Swords, all right, in the more traditional deck, but I read it differently because it is essentially a different deck, right? And this is, you know, a warrior, a Roman warrior in training. Now, what are you in training for right now, Virgo? It seems to me like you are preparing for something, that you're preparing for battle, preparing for war. And war meaning just life, okay? Not like big dramatic divorce or anything like that, but you know what I mean. I think you're finding it very difficult to focus. However, like, this is your intention. This is what you're needing to do, perhaps. Three of Cups in the challenge position. This is like maybe obligations. I see it as social things, friends, going out, and some of you may be having superficial relationships, okay? And it is the superficiality that's really getting in the way. I think that you're preparing and that you are maybe ready for something real or a significant change in your relationship. And yet that change has either yet to occur, or you have yet to meet someone that you can take seriously. Or in your relationship, you have just like superficial things that need to be kind of worked through, okay? Again, this is social events, so I'm sensing that there's a lack of meat, right? You're not getting to the bone, you're not getting to the core of the issues. You're just kind of scraping the surface, and everything is just like blah, da, 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 and like kind of fake, and you know, not really that doesn't really suit a Virgo. I don't think Virgos tend to really enjoy the superficialities of life, really, you know. It's I mean, all signs are different, but I think that that's frustrating for you. Again, it's in the challenge position. So Four of Coins again. Okay, this has officially come out every single time. I've done four readings now. So this is the Four of Coins, and I'm describing it as this. Now, the energy of this particular moon has probably weaned off a little bit. It was a few days ago. It was the supermoon in Gemini, but I think it's important to address. And I'm not an astrologer, but I am learning, because I think it's important to have, I think it's all so interconnected that it doesn't make sense to just do tarot and just read the cards and not really address what's happening in the sky, because it's like, it's so obvious right here what's going on. We've had this supermoon in Gemini, and the essence of this moon is, again, oversimplification of this, okay? Our desires and how they reflect back on us and what they say about us. So if you are engaging in superficiality, Okay, and it doesn't have to be bad. It's like fun and going out. If you're prioritizing, social elements, and you're prioritizing not so important relationships, and you're, kind of maybe going from one person to the next or whatever, what does that say about you and how you feel that it says about you? So as an example, if you are in love with someone that tends to have more superficial, I'm using the word superficial, but I'm using that just as to kind of streamline, but it can be any type of value, okay? So you're dating someone that really enjoys just going out and having a good time, but when anything gets serious, then they kind of squirrel away, right? They just kind of like, they get squeamish and they can't handle it. So there's not a lot of depth to that connection. So you love them, but what does that say about you, knowing that you're in love with someone that cannot give you what you want, right? What does that say about your self-respect and your self-worth? Okay, now I'm going a little bit negative just to illustrate my point. It can go positive as well. Like if you're in love with an amazing person, what does that say about you? Like, wow, I deserve this person. This is awesome. You know what I mean? So it can go both ways, but there is that element of superficiality here. So that's kind of, in essence, maybe it's a foundational, it's a core thing that's happening. And I've been seeing that a lot coming out this month. So I think we're all undergoing this type of thing. And you may have been coming out of a confusing situation, right? Maybe like you didn't know how to feel about something. You didn't know what to think. You didn't know where you stood with someone or something. Maybe you're just distracting yourself with superficial endeavors because at least it's something you can control, and at least it's something that you understand, and it's not complicated. Maybe some of you are coming out of a complicated situation and you're just trying to like shake it off, like, oh, I need simplicity in my life. This speaks to simplicity as well, right? How simple is a life where you don't really care that much about stuff, And it's not that you're completely forgetting your obligations or anything, but it's almost, you just needed a break, right? You need a break from the 7, so you simplify down to 3. Okay? And that's fine. You're taking a break. You're removing yourself from the confusion. But at the same time, while you're engaging in, these types of things, on the inside and underneath, I feel like you are still preparing for something bigger, something better. You're just taking a little bit of a hiatus and reevaluating yourself and really examining your own reflection and trying to figure out like who the heck you even are, what you even really want, right? And in the future is the 4 of Wands, stability, roots, foundations, 2 4s coming out. Interesting, I'm pulling these out. Actually, I think I got this card in the exact same position in Leo as well. So you're headed in a really positive direction, I think. One where you do feel more grounded, one where you do feel maybe even more productive as well, and you feel like you have some established roots, and like, again, groundedness is important for an earth sign. So this, I think, will give way to this. Both celebratory in nature, but this one more real. Like, this is dating and going out on Tindering and doing whatever you gotta do. And okay, yes, but the time will come when you find something real and you find something serious. So I think that's in the cards for some of you. Again, if you're married, you're not out Tindering, you're not out dating, but you may be kind of avoiding certain things because it maybe just got too complicated. So you're kind of avoiding things and hanging out with friends and gossiping and, doing the girl thing or the guy thing, guys' night, girls' night, whatever. And just to like a little bit of relief before it gets like for reals. And the threads of fate. This is my favorite card, okay? Without a doubt, the threads of fate. It is the Wheel of Fortune, okay? The wheel is turning. It's turning in your favor. The universe is working for you, with you. And I know you're waiting, right? You're waiting. You're waiting for that wheel to turn. You're waiting things to begin to manifest themselves. You're waiting for the things that the universe owes you. You've been training, you've been working, you've been studying, you've been preparing for the Four of Wands. Okay? It's what you want. You want stability, you want love, you want a solid connection, one that is unwavering, okay? And in the meantime, you have whatever, meaninglessness. And the Three of Swords. Some of you may be really trying to get over something. The Seven of Cups is tough sometimes. It can lend itself to, I often see this as being a person that has a lot going on in their heart, and they channel it through creativity. They channel it through art or music or some form of expression, writing, movie making, whatever. And you may have had a lot of productivity in, you know, not so romantic areas of your life, because that's the way you channel that energy. You've been focusing on work, you've been focusing on education, you've been focusing on something else, because the emotions got too confusing, got too overwhelming, and you didn't know how to feel about stuff. You didn't know how to interpret stuff. And like I said, you found a need or a desire to simplify things for a while before it kind of gets real. Three of Swords is hard. It's a heartbreak. It's sorrow. It's sadness. It requires healing. So some of you are in a healing process, okay? And Threads of Fate is that faith that things will turn, and they will. Four of Wands, they absolutely will turn. They will turn in your favor, likely sooner rather than later for a lot of you. I think a lot of you will find that groundedness somehow, some way. Temperance in your environment. Now, okay, wow, that speaks so well with what I just said. Now, temperance is about balance. It's about moderation. It's about like Zen. Okay, I often see it as like the Zen card, you know, not a lot of upheaval, not a lot of activity, okay? And just trying to be at peace with everything. So the channeling of energy, in the traditional deck, it's an image of like an angel pouring water from one cup to the next. And that to me is transition of energy from one state into another state, right? Like molecules, you know, ice cube to water to gaseous. But yes, it changes state, but it never fully disappears. It's just in a different form. And I think that's there is a lot of tunneling and channeling going on here with you, Virgo. I don't know, I'm not necessarily seeing an avoidance of what's going on, an avoidance of the Three of Swords. There's definitely a lot of self-reflection about what this means and maybe why your heart was so broken, maybe why you were so disappointed. Why did you become so connected with someone that wasn't offering you something real, or, you know, whatever it was? And why were you feeling so confused and so like foggy? You know, and I hope there's not a lot of berating, like you're berating yourself. I hope there's not too much of that going on, because Virgo can be incredibly self-critical for no need, right? No reason. You don't need to criticize yourself. I don't think that what happened was really your fault, or whatever this disappointment was. It's just like bad circumstances, or someone wasn't on board, or whatever. Like maybe it just wasn't the right person for you, or the right situation for you, right? Your faith is optimistic, and it's good, and it should be. I know you want to feel whole again, Nine of Cups. You want to feel emotionally fulfilled, and to feel like you don't need, like you don't have need of things. Let me make sure that you can see all the cards actually. Okay, yeah, to make sure you don't have need of things. She's very proud, this Nine of Cups. Very proud, very content with exactly the way things are. I'm wondering if you are striving to reach that point of contentment. You are striving to accept something and to not let it affect you. To not let this affect you. I think some of you are even wishing that you were more emotionally unavailable, as weird as that might seem, right? Virgos get a bad rap for being very cold and very emotionally unavailable, but in fact, it's like the opposite, you know? We're protective of ourselves because we know that when we love, it's all in. And so when we do love and we do have that disappointment, sometimes we wish that it was easier, right? Because maybe we feel we were taken advantage of or whatever, you know. Devotee of Wands is about, now this is like the Page of Wands, but I read it differently always, okay? I do see guardedness here, but a desire to communicate. Like she's got something to say, but is afraid to say it because she's afraid of what the repercussions will be. She's afraid to expose what's behind the doors, right? A lot of guardedness here, but out of protection, right? So much to say. And maybe there were things that were said, and maybe it did cause a little bit of shaky ground, which maybe is why you're like, okay, I can't do this. I gotta make my life easier. I gotta stop expecting so much from people or whatever it is, you know, and I just gotta be happy. I gotta find a way to accept this and to just be happy, you know, to find that balance, to channel my energy into something more productive, because likely again, it's a choice between channeling your energy into a Three of Swords to sorrow and grief, or channeling it into something creative and productive. And Virgo, I know you like to be productive, and you do. You criticize yourself when you are not productive. Ten of Cups. See, chasing rainbows, it's too high. The standard was too high. Ten of Cups reversed. I don't know if I said reversed or not, but the standard was too high. The expectation was too high. Again, 7, 10, down to 3. You're downgrading. Some disappointment. You were not able to have everything, whatever that means to you. You weren't able to have everything. Someone wasn't willing to give that to you or do that for you or be there with you, you know. And maybe there were some of you that thought you had a Ten of Cups situation, but then you realized you actually had a Three of Cups situation, and you were like, wait, what? Like, I didn't even know I was in a Three of Cups situation. I didn't know this was just like a friends with benefits situation, or like, to me it was so much more. Someone denied you something. Some of you, someone denied you something. Someone pulled something away from you, or they pulled the hope of something away from you. This is a kind of a little bit of a negative reading, and I'm super sorry about that, Virgo. But it's been a hard month, or it's going to be a hard month, I think, for a lot of people. I don't know exactly why, but I think with this this Four of Coins, this reflection, right, and this self-realization a little bit that's happening, it makes us kind of change the course of our life a little bit, and that change can always be a little bit tough. See another Four of Cups. So now it's like, okay, well, now I'm going to be extra selective. Now I'm going to be extra cautious. I'm not just going to do anything. There is an essence of like removing yourself and taking a break, right? Like you're going to just be quiet for a while. You're going to make people come to you. You're not going to put forth effort. Now, if you are someone that's watching this because you're in love with a Virgo, what the Virgo needs is their space, okay? They need you to do the work. Now, if you are like, I always do all the work, they're so unavailable, okay, well then this won't really apply to you. But Virgos are very independent. It's a very independent sign. And they don't do well in codependent relationships, okay? So if you come knocking on their door and they're not talking to you, what needs to happen is you need to say, okay, Virgo, this is how I feel. You kind of need to be emotionally vulnerable toward them because that's what they need to hear, because they need to hear that this Ten of Cups hasn't been ripped away from them. They're feeling disappointed in themselves. They're not at a place where they're going to, so you need to expose yourself and not expect them to expose themselves quite yet. I think they will, Virgo. I think you will. I think you'll get to that point where you feel like you're ready to make a selection. Okay, you'll find a place to pick a flower. Eventually you'll pick a flower from the garden and you'll make a choice. But right now you're not in that place, right? So the one thing you cannot do, recommendation for you, is to not be critical of your partner if you do in fact have a partner. Not be critical or judgmental toward them if they open up to you. You don't have to really participate. It's best if you do, because this is a really hard, it's hard for the other person to deal with this. But if you explain and you are articulate about your needs, then it's up to them to accept that. You need a reason to stick around. You need a reason to stay. You need a reason to forgive or whatever. And Seven of Coins. So Seven of Cups, Seven of Coins. I often see the sevens as being pivotal moments. So something happened. You reevaluated a situation, a confusing situation, and you were forced to make a choice. Now, here's the element of choice, okay? We have 3 4s coming out. Here's the element of choice, and realizing again that maybe what you initially set out to do is not as fulfilling as you thought, or not what you expected it to be. The Hierophant. So now we're getting the 4 of Wands and the Hierophant. Virgo, it's likely that you will get what you want. Some of you want a relationship. Some of you want to be part of a committed thing, and some of you want love. Some of you want that person, right? This is the institutional level, right? Some of you want marriage. Some of you, again, 2 cards actually of marriage coming out in your future for you. But it's like you have to know that your partner wants that too. You have to know that your partner isn't going to give up on you. You have to know that again, it's all like what you need to know right now. Like you're not in a very giving mood. It can kind of work against you, Virgo, so don't be like too much of an asshole, okay? Just be nice. We can be ice queens, ice kings, whatever you want to say. Like we can definitely be that. So don't be that. Be conscious of it. Be aware. Don't be hurtful or judgmental or overly critical to other people. All right, just advice. And I think it will go more smoothly for you. And the 5 of Wands. I think you're kind of kicking and screaming in panic mode a little bit. You don't look like you're in panic mode, but I think you are in panic mode. You're really freaking out a little bit. I think you have so many things you want to say, but you're really keeping your mouth shut right now. You're keeping your mouth shut because you know that if you were to say everything, you completely lose power. There might be a little bit of a power struggle going on for some of you as well. And you don't want to participate in this like boxing match or this verbal boxing match. You know, you don't want to get in fights. You're afraid of what could happen if you expose too much. I think on some level you exposed, I don't know if you exposed anything. Really, maybe you haven't. Maybe some of you have. But if you have, I think you exposed just kind of the right amount. It's almost like a bait and hook situation, like you baited the other person. You put it out there, you threw the line, and you're just waiting for your partner to grab the hook so you can reel them in, kind of thing. You just did just enough. I don't know why I'm getting that vibe. It's because she's kind of got the puppets on the string, I think. And so there's a little bit of a level of manipulation there as well. Not in a negative way. It's like manipulation in order to provide the opportunity for a conversation at least, because your future is looking solid so far. It's looking solid. Devotee of Cups, see? A message. There was something that was said, whether you said it, or they said it, or whatever. It was said. It's out there. It's done. The deed is done. Or it's coming. Some of you may be expecting a message as well. Right? Like maybe you addressed this. Maybe you called someone out and being like, hey, I don't want to be your friends with benefits, or I don't want to be in this same situation. Like I really want children. I think it will help me find more value in my life. And I've always wanted children. I've always wanted a family or whatever. So you're calling someone out, I think, calling someone out on this providing of superficiality. Some of you may be even calling yourself out as well, the simplification of stuff. There's definitely an exodus. You're definitely like vroom, putting yourself in the shadows for a while. You're going hermit mode. But I think the message will come, whether this is in the form of an apology. It will be subtle and it will likely be superficial as well. It will not have substance, which could frustrate you, but it's something, right? They took the bait. Now you just got to reel it in a little bit. I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know how to do that. But see, the environment is such interesting. Temperance and Ten of Swords, such opposite energies. But it does signify an end. This is my Fallen Angel card. But there's support. I think you were really hurt, Virgo. I think the Ten of Cups reversed is an incredibly painful thing for you. I really, really do. Maybe you decided in the recent past that you just couldn't do it anymore, knowing that it was a Three of Cups and not a Ten of Cups, and you couldn't do it. You can't put forth effort toward that. Now, first of all, I'm not saying that this Four of Wands and this Hierophant is going to be the person that you had this situation with. It could be someone new. We have a page or a Devotee of Wands. This does indicate likely someone new coming in. 2 pages actually, water and fire. So yeah, so there's the communication aspect of this. There's the messaging and all of that. But they could also be people. Could be people. Ten of Swords. You have people around you that love you and care about you and that will support you. I think you're really, like I said, there's a channeling of energy. So you have negative energy around you that you are likely trying to, I don't know if you are doing it successfully, but you're at least trying to channel it into productive efforts. Maybe trying to forget, like I said, like you're just like, oh, forget it. I'm tired of the complexity of this. Just give me something simple and something that I understand. Something where I don't have to worry about the Ten of Cups. Like, let me just go out and have fun and not worry, because my heart can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. And the Empress and your hopes and fears. You're hoping for strength. I mean, look at these 2 cards together. Strength and self-confidence and a sense of self-value and self-worth. It's something that likely you're lacking, Virgo. Because again, being in love with someone or wanting a relationship with someone that's not promising anything, what does that say about your self-respect, right? And how much have you been compromising your own values, compromising your own self-worth to accommodate someone else? And I think you're just like totally done. It's done. It's over. There's no more left to give. And you have this Empress. Okay, so again, if you're dealing with a Virgo and you're watching this because your Virgo is exited the building, it's going to be tough to get them back. It's going to be tough. And they might not really be open to what you have to say right now. I think they'll listen, but I think Virgo, you have reconsidered and you have made a decision. Okay. And it's going to take a lot to win you back. It's going to take a lot to get an Empress back, to get an Empress to refocus on what comes next when she's already made up her mind that something else comes next. That's tough. And strength coming out. It's likely that you have needed strength. I'm sensing some of it's weird. Walking away, I'm not getting cards of really walking away, but the decision, right? 7 of Coins is always for me about decision, because what is in front of you and what is being offered is not serving you. It is, you have decided that it is not for you and it is not enough. And you know that there is more out there. Okay, and you know that there is more that you could get if you did something else. So this isn't easy. Strength is a really hard energy. It's beautiful, and strength is a positive message. It's good, but it's hard. To have courage, to have willpower, to stand up for your standards, stand up for yourself. And like I said, maybe some of you, not all of you, are going to be leaving someone that was only offering a friends with benefits or a superficial, or, you know, again, if you're even married, you may be considering whether doing it or at least saying it, being like, look, this is what I want in my life, and if you're not able to give that to me, then I need to move on. And that's really hard. And of course, yes, 10 of Swords, it's very dark. It's very hard. You may have even felt betrayed, some of you, but it's leading you in a really beautiful direction. I mean, I cannot deny the 4 of Wands and the Hierophant as being such a positive things to come. It's what you're projecting out into the universe, Virgo. What is it you're settling for? I think some of you have settled in the past and you've just accepted what is. And now you're not accepting that anymore. And the Enchantress of Swords. It's a harsh energy. Virgo, you're taking on a harshness. It's not bad. I know you're sticking up for yourself. Be really, really careful of how you speak to your significant other or the person that, because it's likely that you want this with them, right? But they're not offering it, so it's like, well, then I gotta go. But I know you want it with them, with someone. So I'm seeing you kind of cutting them out a little bit. Turn off my air conditioner. I'm seeing you cutting them out. I'm seeing you really turning a shoulder, right? You're turning a shoulder on this here for now. I think you know truths, right? I love this card so much. She has the scrolls of truth right there. She knows. She's the prophetess, Queen of Swords. She doesn't get enough street cred for her intuition. That usually goes to the Queen of Cups, but seriously, very intuitive. And you are following your intuition and you're doing right by you, you know? I think also some of you are kind of getting to a point where you're like, this shouldn't be this hard. love shouldn't be this hard, and I shouldn't have to like, you know what I mean? Like, it should be easier to love someone. It should be easier to love myself, you know? And the Six of Cups, something from the past. Also an element of children as well, but I think that there is a beckoning from the past. Some of you may be dealing with someone from the past, or someone with whom you have a long-standing connection with. Some of you, this really may be because of family, and you guys might be on different pages because some of you want kids and some of you don't want kids. Again, this also speaks to superficiality as well, like children in love on the playground, chasing each other. There's a lot of superficial elements here, I'm not going to lie. So again, what does that desire for a superficial situation really say about you? You have to be sharp-minded, Virgo. You have to really think it through. You have to really be honest with yourself. This is a tough reading. It's a tough love reading. I want you to love yourself. I want you to have those values where you do stand up for yourself, and you don't sacrifice a part of yourself in order to accommodate the needs of someone else. You know what I mean? Now, that's a tricky thing to say because it can really, you know, sometimes you have to, but you know what I mean. And the Two of Swords. See, I think this decision, see, weird, this came out in the exact same layer, third layer, same position for Leo as well. There must be something happening in August, September that you guys kind of have in common. But Two of Swords reversed. I think that the decision in the past has been quite difficult. I don't know, this person, I think they're not going anywhere. I think that they are going to reach out to you and that they will try to console you. And I do think that they are afraid of losing you as well. I'm seeing like really beautiful leadership qualities here. The Pope, the Father, the man, the warrior. You're gonna have to really accept some level of independence though. Like, I'm really seeing a disconnect. This person might not be the most warm and affectionate person either, right? Like, they might not really know what to do at this point, so they might make some mistakes. So you got to give them some leeway, Virgo. They might say the wrong things, or they might not put forth as much effort as you're kind of expecting. But you can't expect stuff and not communicate those expectations, right? Like, if you really need something from them, you need to tell them, because they might not deliver properly, and there's no need for you to be disappointed in something that they didn't even know that they were expected to do. You know what I mean? So, but they do care, and I think you will hear from them, and then they will be maybe open, you know? They see your pain, they see what you're going through, they understand maybe what they're doing to you, maybe they even know that they're doing it to you. But Virgo, you've got to be super careful not to be icy, okay? Because you could push them away and then you could likely not get what you want. You need to be warm and open. See, Ace of Swords, so many swords, 1, 2, 3, 4 swords. The Empress even here, a more military-like person. This is knowledge and understanding. So I feel like there's something that's kind of been all out on the table. Like I was saying before, you might not have exposed everything, but I think you put enough out there so that they know now and you feel good about exposing a certain level. It's very strategic. I'm sensing a little bit of manipulation because I think that you don't quite know, or I think you know that they're going to be there. They're going to be there and they're not going to go away, right? And so you're trying to lure them in a little bit. Interesting. You're luring them in and playing hard to get at the same time. A little bit counterproductive. So just be careful. It's a tricky game you're playing. 10 of Coins. I think you see what you could have. See, Queen and King of any suit coming out together, I see as being a very quality match. I see as being true love. Maybe a little bit of the twin flame, not soulmate, but more twin flame, okay? mutual understanding of how each other lives life. And these honestly are very independent entities, very independent energies. So the two of you are likely to have a more power couple type of vibe. Like I said, not codependent at all. And you need them to be independent because you need your independence as well. Like you really could have it all. You see the potential for that. You see what you have together. Again, a retreat, that's what's happening. You're totally pulling away. You're not talking. You're not doing anything. You're checking out. Hero of Wands. I think you're throwing your significant other or this person of interest for a loop. You will hear from them. Here they are. And they may come back not so strong. I think in some way this situation has weakened them. The shipwreck is very dramatic, right? I don't know if this is a hope or a fear. It could be both. A hope of a dramatic turn for the positive or a fear of a dramatic turn for the negative. It's both. And it could go both ways. Like I said, you really rolled the dice with this one. You really rolled the dice. You really gambled. And there's nothing wrong with that. But hopefully it pans out the way you want. I see this person here. I see their interest in you. I'm seeing a lot of reciprocity. I think they're very confused. Maybe even some of them were blindsided and had no idea. What's interesting is I'm seeing that you're okay with either outcome, right? Good or bad, together or not. Like you're okay with either outcome at this point because you're standing up for yourself. You're standing up for what you want. So if they're going to come to you and offer what you want, then great. If they're going to come to you and say I can't, then great. You're going to move on and find someone else. Plain and simple. You kind of hold the power here, right? You've got the fishing line out there. You're in control of the hook. You know what I mean? So, but don't hurt the people that you love, Virgo. Like I said, it's a very dangerous game you're playing. Don't hurt the people that you love. So when they come and they want to talk to you and they want to express themselves to you, don't cut them off. Don't be mean because it's likely a door you want to keep open for a while. Okay? So I'm going to leave you with that, Virgo. I wish you nothing but the best. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks with your generals. Okay? Bye.